Albinism is a rare group of genetic disorders that cause the skin, hair, or eyes to have little or no color, and it is associated with vision problems. People with albinism have an increased risk of skin cancer as their skin is sensitive to the sun, which exposes them to ultraviolet radiation. One of the people who are suffering from severe skin cancer that is associated with this condition is Tamson Phiri.
My name is Tamson Phiri, the last child in a family of 8. But well, I lost about 5 of my siblings. So out of 8, only 3 of us are remaining, and I'm the only male child remaining. I lost my parents, my father in the year 2001, my mother in the year 2006, and my grandmother was also my guardian in the year 2009.
Tamson Phiri has suffered severely from this condition since 2016. The skin cancer has developed severely through the years, to a point where it has damaged almost half of his face.
I have a bandage on my face. Now I'm going to tell the story of how this bandage got to my face. Something like an irritation of some skin, like someone who has been scratched or something. It appeared on my left cheek. It grew a little to around a centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, until at one point it burst. Rakangoputika by itself. It burst, and that's when I discovered, no, this thing had actually started eating up the flesh inside. Pus had already started developing inside. It was, from the outside it looked like just something simple, but from inside it had already started eating flesh. Then come 2019, one of the doctors who saw me when I was in pain, that was around April 2019, he said to me, no, why don't we do a biopsy on this thing? I assume it might be a cancer of some sort. It seems the doctor was right. It was Squamous Cell Carsinoma, a skin cancer that is common in people with albinism. So, well, that was how the challenge started. You see, there was a point in time when I had to walk around with a towel on my face covering half of my face. You know, sometimes the wound will just turn bad. It will just start smelling, you know, even when you're in public. Sometimes it will just start flowing past, you know. People wouldn't quite sort of get what was happening, you know. Now, that's where the attitude of society that I spoke about earlier on comes in. People already had an attitude against me because of the fact that I was a person living with albinism. Society found it hard to accept me because of that. Now, that challenge was doubled with the fact that now, besides that, this guy has a hole on the side of his face. This guy has a rotting, has a decaying wound on the side of his face.
The skin cancer now requires Phiri to get medical attention on a daily basis, a development which has affected his social life as he now spends most of his time isolated from the rest of the world and constantly seeking medical assistance from medical facilities. You
know, sometimes even family would frustrate me, even friends would frustrate me. So I just started staying by myself. I just started keeping to myself. I just started isolating myself from everybody and from everything. Now I'm not in a hospital because I'm on palliative care treatment. So I don't stay in a hospital for long. I just go to hospital for chemotherapy. See, but the challenge is even worse. I need to get this wound dressed daily. I buy bandages, I buy the medication, I buy the painkiller injection, and for someone who is not working or who doesn't have any form of stable financial income, it's really a challenge. Currently, the wound is not, it's not in its best state, if I can say. Yes, hygienically it's clean, but the condition of it's not pleasing, because number one, see, there's a bone that forms the socket of the eye. So this side of the wound, this bone, the lower part of the eye socket, it was all eaten up. This bone is not there. It's broken off. So the eye is actually suspended on probably on its muscles, I assume. And then going deeper down towards the jaw, this whole bone, it has been also eaten up. It's not there. So practically, I don't have a facial bone on this other side. It gives me a permanent and persistent headache that I find difficult to deal with. But it needs attention. Not only financial attention, but we also need mental support, because you see, cancer recovery, I always tell people, it's not only physical, but it's also in the mind. So for one to fully recover, they also have to get a strong and accommodative support system.